going to start a fund, an education fund, with $10 million to fund and support developers who are building education content for VR. So this is something that we're really excited about.
Virtual reality is starting to become more mainstream by the day. Multi-billion-dollar companies like Facebook and HTC are continuing to find new and innovative ways to make virtual reality or VR more accessible to everyone. But for the people who haven't tried it, how could you explain what it's really like to be in a place that you're not, be able to discover the unknown, try the untried, and most importantly, do the impossible?
Technology and libraries go together so well. And instead of saying, okay, here's a picture of the Coliseum, go to the Coliseum and walk around in it. So yeah, I think a lot of things that seem really boring on paper or in a book could be really interesting when you're actually in there experiencing it.
Yeah, I can imagine a virtual reality being great for like a history class when you want to show particular places to students and they get to walk around in those places. I think it would be great to be able to see things more vividly in a classroom. Today, I used a painting program for the first time in my first experience of it, and it was definitely, I think, more responsive than I thought it was going to be, and it was very intuitive, and I really felt like I had a lot of control over that sort of that space, which is the canvas. So I was really struck by, wow, this is very intuitive and there's great control here. But at the same time, I think VR could really enhance, again, an experience of something that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see in the classroom alone.
It's a lot of fun. It's terrific. You really get to experience things that you never thought you'd be able to experience. It's the way of the future. Anything with technology, I think, is terrific.
Oh, I think it should be in the school. I really do. I think it's really cool, especially like in the atmosphere with the way the library is now. I felt like in outer space. It felt very strange. Like I said, I've never even used controls for a video game, never played video in my life or anything like that. But it's really cool. I thought it was really neat. I first started with the 3D pieces that were the sculpture, and to be able to actually even walk through and pass the piece, I thought it was really neat. Weird for me, you know, I'm on the older generation here, but it's pretty cool.
It's hard to sometimes relate concepts to real life. So if you have virtual reality, it's just another way of trying to apply it to an everyday situation. Some people, you know, they need to actually like feel something. They need to see it, they need to, you know, hear it, they need to write it. So you kind of encompass everything, and I think that virtual reality would give you that thing that's missing. I would love to have VR in my classroom. One, I think it's a great tool because the kids are going to love it. But not only that, not just as an excitement thing, but again, as a model, as seeing, applying it to real life. I think it would be a good tool, especially in the science field. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Virtual reality, it's you feel like you are there. When you know you're not someplace, but you feel like you're someplace else. It's reality, but it's not. It's really cool. It's scary, I think, the first time, especially, you know, you put it on, you feel like you're in a different world. It's like an out-of-body experience, but it's something that everyone should try and you know, experience for themselves.
I want the kids to be able to experience VR. Some of their schoolwork has been about virtual reality and how that's changing the world as we know it.
You can have your teacher, you can have your students with you, and you can go anywhere in the world or beyond and learn about really anything there is to learn by immersing yourself in that educational experience.
It's totally different to a dry historical lecture. You feel like you're there. You feel like you're in the experience.
People try VR, that's usually when they're convinced. And the best thing we can do is get VR in front of their eyes as fast as we can so they can see what this is going to be, how it's going to get better, and how it's going to become part of their lives.
Virtual reality has the potential to actually change the world. Through this machine, we become more compassionate, we become more empathetic, and we become more connected. And ultimately, we become more human.